Hi and welcome back to a new video. Usually all my videos are not about me as a person and my private life, which I'm actually really happy about. They're mostly just around hardware and trying crazy things and just making things a little bit more interesting for you as a viewer. But once in a while, like now, the things in my private life might also affect you as a viewer, and that's why this video will be a little bit different. I started the main part of my overclocking career about 15 years ago, being an active part of the PC Games Hardware Extreme forums. I was just doing crazy stuff, basically the same what I'm doing today, but just more for myself, but still writing small topics about it on the forums, and then eventually also getting into their print magazine, because at that time PC Games Hardware still had a very popular print magazine, and they allowed me to also publish some of my tests there. So that was the way how I got into the industry first, learning how to write, learning how to test. And also there I learned to know Oliver. I got to know him as Freak, being part of the PC Games Hardware Extreme industry. Here's also a picture of us attending the Award for Break Overclocking Challenge in 2008. Good times. And in 2009 he actually left PC Games Hardware as an editor and he went to Caseking as a marketing manager. And I think it was like 2010 or more, maybe 2011, he reached out to me and asked if I would like to be part of Caseking as an in-house overclocker. But at that time I was still doing my mechatronics apprenticeship and then also just being close to studying mechatronics and microengineering, which is basically like semiconductor engineering. Already back then it was an honor for me that they reached out to me asking if I would like to be part of Caseking, but I also wanted to start and finish my studies, you know. Even though I didn't enjoy that time at all, I knew it would be very important for me, like becoming an actual engineer, learning how to, you know, dig deeper into things a scientific way. So even though I did not enjoy studying, I still knew I had to do it just for the sake of learning a lot of things. In the meantime, I was just getting deeper and deeper into the overclocking rabbit hole. Being part of HDBeenDope, I think I was active in the top 10 for at least 2 or 3 years, then became a result moderator, became part of the crew, helping organizing events online and offline, which was great because I got to learn so many new people, which was amazing. And then in 2013, I thought it's time to participate in the Computex. So on my own costs, I decided to book a flight to Taipei. It was also my first international flight, and that was certainly an adventure, and I wanted to participate with Elmore in the Corsair main OC event. And at that time, Elmore was still working for MSI. He was also still studying, but like I think part of his studies he was working for MSI. And with him, we were representing MSI overclocking team. It was basically an event where all the big vendors like Asus and ASRock and MSI, they basically had their teams fighting against each other. At Computex, you basically have your exhibition during the day, and then in the evening you go out with vendors to restaurants and bars and all that. So I was in one bar, and there I got to know Tony Son, who at that time was one of the founders, one of the 2 founders of Caseking, and also the current active CEO of Caseking. So I talked to him for quite a while, and yeah, seemed to be a very cool guy. And then he basically invited me to Caseking. He said, so after Computex, just reach out to me again and maybe just come out and check Caseking in Berlin. And that's what I did. So after Computex, I decided to go to Berlin. I met with Tony, we talked a lot, and we decided that we basically have the same view on things, the same approach of things we want to do, and that it would be a great way to work together. So in end of 2014, I started working for Caseking, and in 2015, I also finally moved to Berlin permanently to work for Caseking on site. And I can tell you something completely different. Being part of the industry as a hobby, like you know, the extreme overclocking part and HW part, but then actually actively working in the industry opens a lot of different doors and opportunities. You get to know a lot of different people, and I wouldn't say that they treat you different, but obviously they have different interests, like financial interests also working with you. So that also, yeah, opened a lot of other opportunities and doors for me. And also at the same time, we were already in the development phase of Cryonaut. So me and my business partner Eike, at the same time, were like preparing to launch Cryonaut to the market. We also didn't know that it would lead to something, because we thought, hey, at the end of the day, if we can sell like 100 syringes a month and have a few, you know, euros extra, that would be nice. But yeah, I mean, we didn't know that it would actually become a real company. And during the years at Caseking, I just worked under Tony, and he gave me full freedom and I could basically do whatever I want. Like every single day, he never told me what to do. He just taught me a lot in terms of like, you know, running a business and also running a business on a, I don't know how to say it in English, but like that it makes financial sense, and also how to treat people and like all the social stuff you need to know for running a business. I learned a ton from Tony, and I'm so thankful from heart that he gave me all this opportunity and taught me all those things. And also, you know, it was not always easy because there were other people always looking at my position and thinking, why is he allowed to do all those things and we are not allowed to do those things? So I know that it wasn't always easy for Tony to give me this freedom, but yeah, I'm very thankful for that. So you might have guessed it already that I left Caseking. At the time that you see this video, I already left. And that was one of the toughest decisions I had to take in my life. For multiple reasons. First of all, Caseking meant a lot more to me than just a job or like a company. When I joined, I basically knew everyone in the company. A lot of people there I consider like close friends to me. And I'm very close to still like Tony, the previous CVO, and good friends with them. So that was not easy. It was very emotional to me. When I handed in my notice of like terminating my job there, I printed it out basically and I signed it and I put it back and left it there for like another, I don't know, like 2 or 3 months, because I like emotionally felt that I didn't want to do it yet, even though I knew I have to do it. And then I had a few talks with Kai, who is still one of the current CEOs. I also still really like him, and told him what's going on in my life and the challenges I'm facing. And I know that it's very hard for you as a viewer to understand that, because, you know, YouTube is not my main part of my life and of my job, because on a daily basis, I get up in the morning, I'm the CEO of Grizzly. I have to take care of over 40 people, which is a lot of responsibility and also a lot of work. So most of the time I work like at least 10 hours a day. Then I go back home. I try to do some stuff for YouTube. And typically that's like 5 days a week. And then if it works out, then I spend 2 days at a weekend just full time doing YouTube. And I have been doing that for years, which is, you know, that's always one step into burnout. I'm so close every single day that I know on long term I have to change something, or I had to change something. And obviously stepping back from Grizzly is no option, because that's where my heart is, and like being an engineer and running machines and developing your own stuff, and that's just what I like to do apart from YouTube, which I also absolutely enjoy. Then I also enjoyed Caseking, my job at Caseking, but I had to take some decisions, and that's why I quit at Caseking. But I just want people to know, like industry partners and you as a viewer, that the reason why I left is not that Caseking became terrible or whatever. They always treated me in the best way I could imagine. But I just had to change some things. You also have to keep in mind that Grizzly sells to Caseking in Germany, for example, and that always leads to, you know, potential conflicts of interest. Caseking has different interests that what we as a company might have, and then it caused trouble in the past, and I think it will definitely become worse once we're like, you know, growing as a company. You have more products, you have more people working there. So the part of conflict of interest is just becoming, or potentially becoming, worse every single day. And I try to avoid that. So sorry for this blah blah video, but I had to get this off my chest also to inform you and to, I don't know, move on a little bit. It also opens new opportunities though, not in terms that I just directly want to work with the competition of Caseking, but in the past, some videos I tried to avoid or like I couldn't do because I always felt that it's leading again to conflicts of interest. For example, if I would review a PC that it's pre-built by a company that's like a competition to Caseking. That's something I always avoided, or I don't know, brands that are anti-Caseking, well, not anti-Caseking, but, you know, competition to Caseking. There's a lot of things I try to avoid, simply to avoid conflicts of interest. So that opens up a little bit more also, yeah, new opportunities for us. But that's basically it. I left Caseking. Thanks again to Caseking, to all the people I got to know over the years, especially Kai, Tony, Oliver, Klaus, Jörg, Vladi, I don't know, Alice, Marian, Caro, Marzi, Niels, I don't know, there's so many people. Yeah, I had so many great events and memories I'm sharing, and it will always be part of me. And yeah, thanks again. See you next time. Bye.